5 faculty members at Virginia Tech and 5 girls at an Amish school in Pennsylvania.
Well, police officers will return to the Newtown School District this fall. And in the aftermath of the shootings there, 7 states have enacted laws permitting teachers and administrators to carry guns in school.
Spoke with a local researcher tonight who asked thousands of teachers across the country if they'd feel comfortable being armed at school.
In the state of Texas, it can be illegal for a teacher to carry a licensed handgun on campus.
This shootings in the United States are a national crisis. This is not a price of freedom. This does not happen in other civilized countries. If we do nothing, this will happen again and again and again. The favored solution for President Trump and many in Congress is more guns, specifically arming teachers so that they can shoot assailants before the assailants shoot the kids.
Hi, can you tell us your name and your grade?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sean Tobin, and I work at San Leandro High School in the Multimedia Academy.
My name is Tyler Silva, and I am in 12th grade.
My name is Caitlin, and I'm in 11th grade. I'm a junior.
Do you think arming teachers would make schools safer?
I do not, and that's a really simple one. If you had a lot of weapons that were lethal in and around teachers' classrooms, not all teachers are super good at keeping track of things. Also, teachers aren't trained to use lethal weapons. So I think it's a really dangerous combination for everybody, including the teachers, right? You don't want students taking those lethal weapons away from you and using them on you. So yeah, it's a bad idea.
Would arming teachers make school safer? Well, yes, but it depends on how it's used. I think it would be a lot more efficient, though, if the security were armed. I don't know, because I feel like it'd be weird for the teachers. Well, maybe the teachers could have like a weapon like on the side, but I feel like it's more important for the security to be armed because it's their job to actually like protect the school. It's the teacher's job to teach.
It really depends. It depends on the people who have the guns.
A nationwide survey conducted by Rand Corporation found that 20% of teachers believe that teachers carrying firearms would make schools safer. Meanwhile, 54% said it would make schools less safe. 26% said it would make neither more safe nor less. What do you think of these results?
I find it shocking that 26% don't think it would make any difference whatsoever. I don't know what those people are thinking. I also question the Rand Corporation because they make weapons for a living. So, of course, they're all for selling more weapons to more school districts. If you can imagine, if you could get that contract for, a gun for every single school teacher, every single schoolroom in the United States of America, that would be a very good contract to get. And probably a very, very profitable one for the Rand Corporation as well. So I find their results dubious at best. And I would say that the people who did say that it would make schools safer don't know what they're talking about. Although I respect them as colleagues, I think they're terribly wrong. Given, depending on their circumstances. If it's a one-room schoolhouse, I don't know. But I think in the average public school setting, it's a terrible idea.
I think that's fair, yeah. I'm not too sure how it could be seen as less safe, though. Well, a firearm in any of the wrong hands is probably not a good idea. But, if they're teachers, they're certified, I feel like they should know not to, pull out a gun on a kid or anything like that. But I feel like neither is a good, I don't know, because I feel like teachers being armed wouldn't really solve too much, except for some really specific scenarios. So I feel like the results are valid.
Well, I feel like it's based heavily in opinion. We don't actually have proof of what would happen, So I think the survey could give other people that don't know how to phrase this. Give me a sec. It could give people more insight about other people's opinions. And then that would go on from there.
We have a bit of an explanation for this next question. As of May of this year, there are currently 32 states that may allow teachers and staff to carry a firearm, each with their own restrictions. One of these states is Texas, where the Guardian program is currently enacted at over 300 school districts. And it allows school districts to pick certain staff members to carry concealed weapons on school grounds. Said staff would have to go through criminal background screenings as well as physical and psychological evaluations, and if they're approved, an 80-hour training program. But except for a few district people, no one knows who's carrying the weapons. If your district implemented something like this, how would you react?
Okay, well, I've lived in Texas, okay? In Texas, there are actually more guns than there are citizens, and people are raised knowing how to care for and accurately fire weapons, okay? That's a very, very common thing for almost all young men to go through, almost as a rite of passage. So that sounds like a stereotype, but it's not too far off, I don't think. What Texas does is what Texas does. I don't live in Texas. And if there were staff that were chosen, there's so many variables that they are obviously trying to control. As far as the 80 hours of training, who knows how good that training is or isn't. The psychological profile, who knows who's giving that and who knows who's evaluating it. No, I would not support that program if it was implemented in California or...
I probably have to change schools. I don't think I would mind too much, but I feel like them not knowing who's carrying the weapons, at least like the principal or like the